cannot make it. There you go.
There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen so you guys can tell me if you see it.
Yep, yeah.
Perfect. All right, good.
I'm gonna ask everyone to mute so that way we can run the meeting. You also have a chat box at the bottom, so you can start adding like the questions that you may have. I'm sure we're going to cover most of it, but if you have other type of questions, you can let us know.
I think we can start. So thank you for coming. Yes, thank you for coming. Monica and Coach P been working really hard on this. Took a little bit longer, but because we was working with a lot of different companies, sometimes we was doing questions and they was taking 3 weeks to answer. So fine, but I just want you guys to keep in mind that Coach P and Monica has been Monica is my wife, if you guys don't know her. She was helping me a lot. It's been a lot of work behind this, even if you guys think it's no, but it's a lot of work to put this together. So she's gonna talk because she actually Monica and Coach P was talking with the companies more than me. They was on contact with them, they have all the information. That's why they're gonna talk to you guys, and any question you have, they have the answer. So right there, guys.
All right, so hi everyone. I'm gonna be hosting the meeting today. So I would ask everyone to mute yourself so that way everyone can hear. As well, there is a chat box if you want to add any question that you have, so we can go over at the end of the meeting. Welcome to the Donostic Cup Meeting 2023. A little introduction about what Donostic Cup is. Donostic Cup is an international football tournament that it was created in 1992. The year is important because that was the year that Barcelona celebrated the Olympics. They also had the Tour of France. The Tour of France left from San Sebastian. So when they started it, they had many teams that came over to San Sebastian, and they were able to celebrate and have festivities. And one of the reasons why they changed it to July was because on August, they have everyone there. So their way of locking the teams and different associations was to move it early in July. We have teams such as Real Sociedad, Athletic Club, many teams all over the world. They started with 32 teams, and right now they have 52 participant teams only from United States, and they have more than 600 teams coming over all over the world. So Harrison Club Soccer brought in Huskies in 2019. Coach Peter was part of it. And it was a great experience for most of the players. And he would talk to you in more detail in what Donostic Cup is. So we should start with that. Coach Pete, this is the training session and game dates that you...
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Obviously, as Monica said, I just want to reiterate, it's mainly Monica's put a lot of work into it as well. And, it's one of those, when we did the trip back in 2019, we kind of organized it on ourselves to try and cut costs and everything like that. So we did a lot of research and market research behind which companies do these trips with many different companies, and found a very good one with the best deal. And hopefully it works out for everyone and we get the commitment that we need. But just to give you a little bit of an insight on the trip itself, the two pictures that you're looking at here, one was a training session that I got to perform for the coaches at Real Sociedad, and the other one is actually at the training facility that Real Sociedad, the professional team, have. And the experience on both of these days for the players was amazing, because the one aspect, you go into a facility in Europe, which is a semi-pro club, which is the one on the left. The girls got to obviously play a friendly against that level and that caliber of play. We actually had a friendly against their women's team, which was U18 and above that day. Very, very exciting, top class facility, really, really a lot of people welcoming, and the place itself, the experience of the players and having that cultural exchange of the day was really good. But it was also great for the girls to see what that higher level of soccer player looks like. And then at the Zubieta training facility, which is the picture on the right, that was before our semi-final against for those who know the game of soccer and follow it on TV and follow pro teams, we actually played Benfica that day in the semi-final, and Benfica have always been a European, world-renowned, absolute powerhouse of a soccer team, and we played their female academy this day. And, the experience for our players, I think, on a learning side of things was amazing, but on a cultural side of things, I think, you know, it was second to none. It was priceless. They got to see what soccer looks like in Europe, but they also got to mix with these kids and build friendships. And I know a lot of the girls still have connections with the players on these teams, even 3 years on. So it was really good. As for the training sessions themselves, high intensity, we're getting ready for a tournament. So there's a lot of games in a short amount of time. So we want to prepare the players properly. So, you know, between me and Marcos, and mainly Marcos with the coaching side of things, you know, we'll make sure we manage the players' load and be plenty of rotation for the players. And, you know, we just want to make sure it's a good experience for everybody out there. Yeah. Any questions on that? Before we go on, move on. Okay, good. You can raise your hand in the chat as well, guys, if you have any questions. Do you want me to explain this part as well? Yeah.
Yeah, the teams.
Yeah. So this,
I believe that was the Aniora Stadium already, or that was.
Yeah.
You
So
play some tournaments.
looking at these two pictures here, these are great memories. The one on the left-hand side, that was basically 2 minutes from the hotel. We had this little AstroTurf. In Europe, we have a lot of these like little mini stadiums where kids from the neighborhood can play. And we'd actually use it to train the girls in the daytime sometimes. And we go around there. And what tends to happen every day, you'd have the kids who live in the local surrounding houses come out and play with us, joining the training sessions. And it would be an amazing cultural experience for the players. But in the end, those players themselves as well, those young kids in the area, they ended up like loving the team that much. They was coming to watch and support us at the games and holding up little flags for us. But it was amazing because every day we go around there and we got to know the locals. And I think, again, you know, the soccer stuff is the important part. The cultural experience that the players are going to get is second to none. And for some of these kids that haven't really traveled, and even if they've been on vacation before, but not really with the locals, they're going to really get to see, you know, what Spain's like, what the level of soccer is like, but also meet kids their age and have that cultural exchange. So it's really cool. And then this part here, this was another thing that was amazing for the players. We got to do a tour of the Old Town San Sebastian, which was beautiful. So a lot of shopping and a lot of sightseeing, and the players really, really loved it. For some of them, they never saw anything like it before. That was amazing. But the one on the right-hand side was actually the Donostic Cup arranges like a mini music festival for the teams. So you travel in the team bus. They drop you off at the festival. They have all security in there and everything, but it's kids only. They travel in there. They're in this outdoor festival by the beach. There's music playing for them. They're well looked after, of course. And then us as the parents get to go around on the outside and see what they're doing. But they had an amazing, amazing time at that. And I think more in turn, they got to mix with the other teams who are playing against, the players that they meet throughout the tournament, and basically in different settings. So again, that cultural side of the trip was excellent. It gives them a chance to blow off some steam after the soccer, which was good. And then, you know, this is a part that's really family orientated. You know, the companies that we partner with, they take you on, you know, a small ferry ride, or we'll go on the team bus and we'll go to Biarritz, which is a famous beach. It's in France. So France, if you don't know, San Sebastian in Spain is right on the border, very close to France. And it's literally, you know, a 20-minute drive across the border, and they take you to Biarritz. It's a beautiful time. We get to go on the beach. This picture actually looks really nice, but it doesn't do it justice when you're actually there. one of the most beautiful beaches that I've ever seen. It's incredible. And again, the kids have activities. They can play, volleyball on the beach. They can play soccer on the beach. There's a nice town there around for their families to go and have something to eat, and the parents to explore as well. So that's a really, really cool side of the trip. And in your spare and downtime, from San Sebastian, the old town where the hotel will most likely be, you can get like a ferry for €2, and you can travel across this little basically stretch of sea, which it takes you about 5 minutes. And you can be in France, and there's another beach there with a lot of entertainment, fair rides for the kids and stuff like that. So there's plenty to do for the families as well in your spare time, and a lot to get like a vacation experience out of it, as well as the soccer as well. So it's really good.
So keep in mind that this the schedule that we're putting here in the screen is only for the package that Barcelona is not added to. So this is the package that doesn't have Barcelona, but we still have the package open for Barcelona. When you reply to which package you're going to be choosing, you have to choose one, obviously, but we made a change not to add Barcelona, just to make it more affordable for other families. So at the end, we're just going to talk about it, the package without Barcelona. So the departure will be July 2nd, and it kind of breaks down through the days of what we're going to be doing. Coach Pete, is there anything that we need to add through these days, or Chris looks?
No, I think in terms of the itinerary itself, this is pretty straightforward. I think I just saw a question pop up from Andy. I'll answer that in a second, mate. With the itinerary itself, this is pretty straightforward. This is more condensed in terms of around the tournament. There will be free time, like we said, to go and do family stuff in and around the soccer, but obviously we want the priority to be on the football while we're there, and for everybody to be immersed in the environment. But I think, as Monica said, we'll depart from the airport, we'll travel together as a team. We want to all be in uniform. Uniforms will be provided as well, all that stuff for the tournament, and we'll go into that a little bit later. I think in terms of this itinerary, pretty straightforward. Arrival check-in, we get there, we get a day to kind of acclimate and get ready. We'll probably do some light training with the girls if there's a facility available around then. And then you have the start of the tournament on July 4th, which is like a mini Olympic opening ceremony. I did it with my girls, and it was amazing. It was in the Neta Stadium, which is Real Sociedad Stadium. And basically, the girls get to go up on a podium with some club flags and the American flag, and they get called out on the speaker, and every team goes through. And it's just like I said, announcing the Olympics and the start of the tournament. It brings a really good vibe and feel. But at the same time, I know we play in Premier Leagues in America, but this tournament is an international tournament with some of the best teams in Europe. So the reason why they have such a big ceremony is for the simple fact it is a massive tournament, and this is known as one of 4 World Youth tournaments that, if you've been with your team there, it's definitely an experience you want to have if they play at the top level. Monica's done a good job with the itinerary in terms of July 5th. We've got, we can do some different options there in terms of our leisure time, and, as we get closer to the trip, we can discuss those. Then it's very much in and around the tournament. We'll do a lot of tournament play. Then we'll have activities on the beach, like I said, Biarritz and things like that. And basically every day will be planned out in and around the soccer. And then whatever free time that we do have, you're free and available to make it more of a family time for you, or we can arrange to do something as the groups as well. And then, once it all wraps up, and hopefully we get really far in the tournament, and, we're playing throughout, and at the end they have kind of a closing gathering where they have some activities as well in and around the stadium as well. And then, we'll take that trip to Biarritz, and then, we'll return home on the 10th, which I think for the trip itself, for the days that we're there, it's an amazing opportunity to get all these things in. I think it's very good value. Considering we did it in 2019, the cost is not much different from then, and the way that the world's changed and inflation and COVID and everything. I think with the company we're going with now and taking away the Barcelona side, I think we're getting a really good deal for all these things. Want me to go through this part too, Monica?
Yes, please. This is the one with, I believe, Barcelona is not included in here. Okay.
Yeah, this is the one that we looked at. So we took Barcelona off because, you know, my team, we didn't do the Barcelona part either. And I feel like the length of the trip and the things that we got to do during the trip, I felt like it was enough. It was, like I said, really good experience. Our target, looking at these prices here, our target is going to be to get 45 to 49 people. Now, obviously, that will probably be between, you know, that'll probably be between 18 to 20 players, maybe, hopefully, if we can get to that number, and then the rest will be families traveling too. The price is per person traveling, so it's not just a player price, it's everybody will have to pay the same fee. And to answer your question in the chat, Andy, that if you want to make other travel arrangements, that's not going to affect your cost. This cost is a group cost. So if you want to travel there on your own and you want to leave on your own and do other plans in and around it, that's all going to be at your own expense. Everybody's still going to have to pay this same fee. There's no exceptions of changing just because you're not traveling with us. We only get this price because it's the group cost. And to give you an example, when we traveled in 2019, every person that went paid $27.50. So if you look at, that was 3 years ago, and if we reach that target of 45 to 49 people, cost difference is not that much at all. So I think in terms of a value for money, it's a very, very good price per person. And for that, inclusions, obviously, trip airfare, that's your taxes and surcharges as well, accommodations and transport. You also get breakfast with the hotels as well when you're there. Obviously, the other meals in the day will probably be traveling around, so that'll be more to you guys as parents to provide and work out with your guys as a group. But breakfast will be provided in the hotel. Transportation, we'll have a team bus the whole week that we've got access to from early morning all the way through the night. So if we decide as a group we want to do something different off the itinerary, we can also use the team bus for that. So that's something me and Marcos and Monica will have a look at and see if there's anything we want to do on another day. And we can take the team bus anytime. So that will take us to from games. It will take us to and from the beach. Any leisure activities we do, the team bus will be there and provided. And it's big enough for both players and parents with a little wiggle room in between as well. So it's quite a big bus.
What are you doing?
And then, guys, if you can mute, please, just because I'm getting a bit of interference. Tour guide will be provided, a tour guide by the Donostic Cup. We had a great young guy with us last time called Javi. He took us everywhere, and even in the leisure times off, he would meet up with us, tell us different things to do. He'd give us tours around San Sebastian, and he'd be with us on every single event, whether soccer, training or leisure activities. So the tour guide's super useful, but also as the parents, you can lean on him for information or her for information of, you know, the town itself. If you want to do family things, our tour guide was excellent with suggestions. So definitely there is a helpful tool and something that was much appreciated on the trip, especially for a lot of people who have never been to Europe before. And then you'll also, everyone will receive a uniform for the tournament. And we'll also have team flags and team pennants to change with the other teams when we play them as well, because it is a professional tournament. So that's something that happens in professional soccer matches. So we'll be doing the same thing as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the pricing. So if you have a look there, if we get to that 45 to 49 number, which shouldn't be hard considering we've got a lot of players and a lot of families that want to go, that cost is achievable, I believe. Yeah, fundraisers is something definitely if the girls want to set up and do GoFundMe pages and all that stuff and to help out with the cost, 100%. I had players from my team as well do the same thing. Some of them had GoFundMe pages, some of them would do different things, different fundraisers to get the money to go to the trip. So some of them would blatantly just turn around and ask family members to and donate to the cause. I want to go on this amazing trip, so you know, help me out type of situation. And then you know, you also had some of the other families that were coming on the trip kindly enough to donate money as well to make scholarship fund as well, which is something that we'll have set up in registration. So if someone does want to donate a little extra to help out, we'll have that set up as well, and that will go towards helping out people who are struggling to pay for the trip. You know, we wish we could do this for free, but obviously with what we're doing, where we're going, it's kind of something where it costs, and we've got it for a very decent price if we hit that target, and that's what we're looking on doing.
Yeah, the fundraiser is going to be organized. We also going to know the number of kids by then, like after we receive all the information from you guys, so we can know exactly who's going to need help, who's not, and what the money is going to be used for once we get to Spain. So if anyone has ideas on it and want to participate, I'm going to put my email on the chat, and you guys can email me with suggestions, and we can set up another meeting just with whoever wants to participate to see if we are able to do this before we go. So that's that. The bus that we were talking about and the meals will be covered during the stay, and they will be available for transportation for a sport transfers, so the parents can go with the children. But we also bring, you know, we use the bus for sightseeing for different places that you guys may want to go and enjoy. So they said that there is a bathroom in the bus, and of course there is video. The meals that are covered here, we only choose breakfast, as you can see. We were guided not to add any other type of meals because of the times that the players are playing or training. So most of the time the players were missing dinner. That's an additional cost. Many parents go out to the city, they get together in restaurants. So at this point, we just left it open for you guys to decide. What do you want to do about that? We're going to be sending basically emails every month in regard to the things that we're going to be needing from you parents. So let's say at the 60-day mark or at the 90-day mark and the 100 mark, I'll be requesting certain things from you guys. I know that we are encouraged for you guys to have travel passports and visas ready with all the documents that you need to enter Spain, at least 6 months before, to determine who's able to, you know, have documentation and situations as state at that point. So that's something that you guys have to look on your own, and you know, find out what is it that you need. The airport expenses and taxes may change, so that is not a set price, and it's just because of currency or changes in the taxes. We will be sending, I may have to send another one, I'm sorry. They told me I have 10 minutes, I don't understand why, because we put for 5 minutes. So we will be sending waiver forms for you guys to sign, and the waivers forms are gonna have agreements and information more in regard to cancellation policies and insurance travel information. If anyone has, you know, has questions about that, I can send an email with the specifications of the travel insurance. So this is just like the beginning in the process of everything that we're going to need. So this is not, you know, we can meet again and we can have, or you can shoot us an email, Peter, Marcos, or I, in regard to certain specifications that you guys need. COVID restrictions also apply to the country that you guys going to travel for. So that's something that you guys have to also be in the outlook for that. And I can share all that information because I believe I was going to share a website that you guys can contact starting now for travel insurance. I'm going to put it down in the box. So you guys do a quote and you get in contact with them. And that's something that you will do on your own as well. the other stuff we will be sending to you guys. Either Pete or Marcos will be, or me will be sending all the information out. I think I had another slide, but did I? Give me 1 second. Oh no, that was it. I guess that was the Barcelona prices, but we're gonna go with this one. Marcos, there is a deadline for you guys to receive information from the parents in regard to the trip, or
Yeah,
email?
yes. Go ahead.
Do you want
Pete.
to go? Yeah, I was just saying that we sent out the Google Doc. I think Coach sent that out to everybody. I can see some people have started filling that out already. We'd like everybody to get back to us by, you know, if they want to be involved in this trip, if they could get back to us by Monday and put their names down. You know, if you're undecided by Monday and later on you want to join the trip, that's also okay. But just bear in mind that first refusal goes to Liberty players. But once that Monday deadline comes, we're also going to look then and invite other players from other teams as well at the level who can come and join us to fill up those roster spots. So pretty much if you want to come, get your name down on that list, put all the information that's required on there, and then, you know, if you do want any other information in between that time, Monica said reach out to me, Marcos, or Monica, and you can get that information. But we want to try and get a commitment by Monday so we can start getting the ball rolling on the back end and start to organize all the things we need to. If you haven't got that Google Doc yet, just let us know and we'll resend it out to everybody. Marcos, you want to add anything else to that?
No, that pretty much. We really need these numbers by Monday to know if we have enough players to, let's say we missing 3, 4 players, 5 players, we can go and find them. But if we miss 10, 11 players, probably that's it. It's over. And we're gonna move over because it's a lot of work behind, and it's time to move forward either way. Or we do it or we not do it. I think Monday is the final day for us. And for you guys too. So we start to plan something up. I hope we can do it. Somebody asked me, wait, Pete. Somebody asked me by text, the division we're gonna play, and I believe we're gonna play what we are now, U15, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe we're gonna play U15, which is the 2008. That's actually in Europe idea. They cut the things that way. They cut it by year. So probably we're gonna play 2008. If it's that, and they asked me what is the level of the tournament. I think Pete responded. It's an international level, pretty much. So we're gonna be playing academies from Europe. We're not gonna be playing in schools. We're gonna play in stadiums. We're gonna play in professional environment, and the girls gonna be treated as a professionals, and that's why kind of like we choose going that way. If you start to talk to another parents, sometimes you spend almost the same money just to go to Texas or just to go to California to play in high schools, or to play on a jazz in a good facility, but not at the level that you can see in pictures and Coach P was talking about. Probably that would be my ad, and Monday is the day for us. And like P say, keep in mind, if we have 13, 14, I'm gonna start to look for the girls, and fill those rosters. And when those spots are filled, that's the way we're gonna move, because that's the way we're gonna move.
I'd just add there, in terms of the travel arrangements, if there is players that are traveling without the parents, we did the same thing. So all the kids are well looked after. We have people that we designate chaperones within the parents, and some of the board members will travel with us, as well as myself and Marcos being there. So if you're just sending your child, that is an option too. They can just come on their own. We will take obviously excellent care of them, and we just want to make sure that when they are traveling, we'll designate them a group of people to be around. They'll be responsible, and we'll make sure that they're well looked after. So that is an option also if you want to send just a player on their own. Anything else to add?
No, sure. Somebody have a question.
Perfect. If you want to unmute yourself and ask over the camera, that we can start doing that if you want.
I guess no.
No questions?
All right.
That means you did a good job.
Question, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we wanted to change the arrival day or the departure day, you said we could do that at our own expense. But do we work with the agency to change the flights?
No. So that flight will only be a group booking flight, and we can only fly together as a group involved in our package. If you want to do something separate, say if you wanted to fly to Spain on a different day, you have to arrange that yourself, because if we start doing all that, it's going to affect the cost for everybody else and change the logistics. So if you wanted to do something on your own, that's completely separate, and you have to meet us at whatever location when you get there. But in terms of that, we want to encourage everyone to go together, really. But we understand if you want to fly on your own, but just understand if that's the case, that the cost will be the same, and you can't retake your flight from this trip and change it into another day or something like that. You have to get that on your own.
Got it. What other question? Okay. And so is the Barcelona still an option, or not at all?
I think for the majority, I think when we first sent this out, I think the majority of people said that, like, you know, the cost of the trip, they didn't like the cost too much. It was a little high, and that's understandable. So the only way of bringing that cost down is taking the Barcelona portion. And I explained to both Monica and Marcos that we didn't do that part of the trip either when we went in 2019, and the trip was amazing. We didn't need that part. So you're doing so much already in that amount of time. But if it's something everybody agrees on and everybody strongly wants to do, also, but we have to do it as a group either way. It has to be a group package. But I think the way things are looking now, we're going to not do the Barcelona and just do the San Sebastian trip.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, one of the reasons for that was a lot of parents was worried about not even the money, but the time, because they thought like was a lot and
Yeah,
just
the length
ask
of
for
time.
for days of work. And I think that was getting a little bit harder for them. So I think that was a main one too, was too many days. And we understand, completely understand.
Any
Other
other
question?
questions?
All right.
Okay, good.
All right. So I guess
Hey, Marcos, we have a
hopefully
question.
yes.
Does every girl need a chaperone?
What's that? Sorry.
Does every girl need to have a parent with them?
No, as I explained, if you want to send your kid on their own, that's absolutely fine. We had a group of, I think, 20 players traveling, and I know that 7 of them didn't have parents with them. And